A small space rock hurtling through the solar system recently damaged the most powerful telescope ever launched into space. The collision with the James Webb Space Telescope occurred between May 23rd and May 25th, according to NASA, who added that micrometeoroid strikes like this are unavoidable. Want to find out what happened next? Then stay tuned with us until the end. Hey guys, welcome to another exciting video from our channel. Now, before we begin with the video, make sure to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video, you'll be updated. That being said, now let's begin. The dust-sized micrometeoroid collided with one of the telescope's most critical components, one of the 18 gold-plated mirrors that gather light from the depths of the universe and reflect it toward an instrument that collects the light. We always knew that Webb would have to weather this space environment, said Paul Geithner, who is the technical deputy project manager at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. The $10 billion James Webb Space Telescope was launched on December 25th and is still not fully operational. Despite the scuffed mirror, scientists say the telescope can still function normally. We designed and built Webb with performance margins optical, thermal, electrical, and mechanical to ensure it can perform its ambitious science mission even after many years in space, Geithner explained. Even with the cosmetic damage, the instrument's performance still exceeds all mission requirements, according to an initial assessment. Earth-based flight teams can maneuver Webb to protect critical instruments from well-known debris streams such as a meteor shower, but this was not the case with the late May collision. This most recent hit was not a result of a meteor shower and is currently considered as an unavoidable chance event, NASA said in a press release. According to scientists, the recent impact will have no effect on the team's operations, with the first full-color images from Webb scheduled to be released on July 12th. This highly anticipated image is expected to outperform a test photo of a star 2,000 light-years away from Earth taken by the telescope in March while scientists were calibrating its mirrors. Webb was designed to replace the decades-old Hubble Space Telescope, which was launched into space on April 24, 1990. The newer telescope's primary mirror is 21 feet across, which is significantly larger than Hubble's primary mirror, which is 7.9 feet across. This enables Webb to collect more light and get a better view of distant objects that Hubble may not even detect. Unlike Hubble, which orbits the Earth, Webb is floating in space at a location known as a Lagrange point, nearly 1 million miles away from the planet. Because of the distance, it is nearly impossible to send a crew into space to repair the telescope if technical problems or damage occur. The ESA's Comet Interceptor mission to visit a pristine comet or other interstellar object just beginning its journey into the inner solar system was adopted this week. The study phase is complete and work on the mission will soon begin following the selection of the spacecraft prime contractor. In 2029, Comet Interceptor will launch into space alongside the European Space Agency's Aerial Exoplanet mission. The mission will build on the successes of ESA missions Rosetta and Giotto, which both visited short-period comets. Despite the fact that these missions completely transformed our understanding of comets, their targets had already swung around the Sun many times and had thus changed significantly since their inception. Comet Interceptor intends to examine a comet that has spent little time in the inner solar system or may be visiting it for the first time, whereas Rosetta's target came from the rocky Kuiper Belt just beyond Neptune. Comet interceptors could come from the vast Oort cloud over 1,000 times further away from the Sun. A different potential target could be an interstellar interloper from outside the solar system, similar to Oumuamua, which unexpectedly flew past the Sun in 2017. Investigating such an object could provide an opportunity to learn more about how comet-like bodies form and evolve in other star systems. ESA approved Comet Interceptor as its Science Program Committee meeting on June 8th. The mission is led by the European Space Agency, with assistance from the Japanese Space Agency or JAXA. Comet Interceptor will consist of a main spacecraft and 2 probes that will orbit the comet and observe it from various angles. The innovative mission will create a 3D profile of its yet undiscovered target in this manner. ESA is in charge of the main spacecraft and one of the probes, while JAXA is in charge of the other. Comet Interceptor was proposed to the European Space Agency in July 2018 and selected in June 2019. It is an example of a fast or F-class mission which takes approximately 8 years from selection to launch. These smaller missions are less than 1,000 kg in weight. The mission is scheduled to launch in 2029 alongside the ESA's Ariel exoplanet mission. The 2 missions will travel together to L2, which is 1.5 million kilometers behind Earth as seen from the Sun. Comet Interceptor will remain there until a suitable target is found. The mission will continue its journey once one is spotted and selected. Because of recent advances in ground-based telescope technology, new comets are now typically detected more than a year before their closest approach to the Sun. This is still insufficient time to plan, construct, and launch a dedicated space mission. However, it is enough time for the Comet Interceptor to travel from L2 to the comet's location. Operating a spacecraft over millions of kilometers of space is always difficult, but Comet Interceptor has a truly unique flight profile. Navigating the spacecraft to the target comet, releasing the probes at the appropriate time, and performing a flyby will necessitate steady hands and cool heads on the part of ESA's mission operations team. Comet Interceptor's 3 flight elements, the main spacecraft and 2 smaller probes, will be outfitted with various high-tech instruments to help us learn more about the dynamic nature of a pristine comet. The European Space Agency, or ESA, will lead the development of the main spacecraft and one of the probes, both of which will carry unique instruments built primarily by European industry. JAXA will develop the other probe. Comet Interceptor aims to characterize the surface composition, shape, and structure of a pristine comet for the first time, as well as investigate the composition of its gas and dust coma. In some cases, this will necessitate the refinement of existing technologies, boosting the space and engineering industries in many ESA member states. Comet Interceptor also helps the ESA's planetary defense efforts. We know of nearly 120 comets and over 29,000 asteroids that pass close to Earth as they orbit the Sun. By studying these objects, we not only learn about the solar system's secrets, but we also become better prepared to protect our planet if one is discovered on a collision course with it. Comet Interceptor joins a fleet of planetary defense missions around the world, including ESA's Hera mission, which is involved in the world's first asteroid deflection test. NASA has been flying UFOs for over 60 years. To any alien intelligence that might encounter it, every spacecraft that has ever visited the Moon, landed on Mars, buzzed Jupiter, orbited Saturn, or reconnoitered Pluto would be an unidentified flying object. There may be no such intelligence in our solar system beyond Earth, but what about in interstellar space? That is a different question. That's why the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 probes, which left the solar system in 2012 and 2018 respectively, have golden records etched with coded sounds and images from Earth, a message in a bottle to any civilization that might come across the ships and want to learn more about the strange species that launched them. UFOs, or UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena as they're now formally known, have been in the news a lot lately. As I previously reported, the House Intelligence Committee's Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, and Counterproliferation Subcommittee held public hearings last month in more than 140 sightings of UAPs by military pilots over the last 20 years, including bobbing, weaving, hovering, diving, and changing direction with head-snapping speed that would produce potentially lethal G-forces to any living being, or at least any living human being, insanely fast. The congressional hearing came after a similar Department of Defense study of UAPs was released last year, and both Congress and the Pentagon came to the same conclusion. Beats me. The objects could be natural phenomena that the pilots and their equipment misinterpreted. They could be new technology developed by Russia, China, or another high-tech power. And yes, they could be extraterrestrial in origin, at least in theory. In his opening statement during the House hearings, Congressman and Committee Chairman Andre Carson said, UAPs are unexplained. It's true, but they're real. NASA has now joined the effort to explain UAPs as a third government agency. The space agency announced this week that it'll launch its own investigation into the UAP mystery, which will begin in the fall. Astrophysicist David Spergel, former chair of Princeton University's Astrophysics Department, will lead the effort. The study, which will run for 9 months and cost $100,000, will analyze all available video data and first-hand accounts, as well as consult both military and civilian experts for their analysis of the evidence. The space agency is open to any interpretation of the data, though it has set a high bar for at least one of them. There is no evidence that UAPs are extraterrestrial in origin, NASA stated in its statement. But of course, the absence of evidence does not rule out the possibility, and NASA officials acknowledge that anything is possible and that they will follow the findings wherever they lead. In a statement, NASA Associate Administrator Thomas Zarbuchin said, NASA believes that the tools of scientific discovery are powerful and apply here as well. We have the tools and team who can help us improve our understanding of the unknown. That's the very definition of what science is. That's what we do. That is exactly what NASA does, and it's past time for it to apply its expertise to the UAP mystery. After 6 decades of building and flying machines it can fully comprehend, the space agency will finally turn its attention to those that the rest of the world cannot. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then do like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such exciting content. See you in the next one.